Welcome to Nittany Nation Overtime.
Hey, hello. We are bringing you Nittany Nation Overtime for the first time after Penn State has played a game. I'm Peter Terpstra. We are joined by the Nitwits, Neil Rudell, Mark Brennan, and our special guest this time for the first time, former Penn State defensive tackle Steve Smear. Welcome to the show. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Penn State just kicked the corn out of Idaho. Not even close, 79-7. Neil, besides the massive score that they put up, is there anything else that sticks out to you?
Well, I think everything. I think the organization, you're breaking in a new quarterback, and I think it's more than getting comfortable in the pocket. You didn't see any clock management issues. They were able to get in and out of the plays that they wanted to run. He got better as the game went on. Sean Clifford showed a little bit of everything, poise, touch, running ability. So I think, for me, it kind of starts there.
You know, outside of Pat Fryermuth getting dinged up a little bit, we're not sure as we tape this, you know, what his status is. They came out of that healthy. I think that first and foremost was the big thing. But I also like the fact that James Franklin had talked a lot about how young this team is, and he's right. They were able to get a ton of young players, some valuable experience in front of 104,000 people. Now, are all of those guys going to play a ton of snaps this year? I don't know, but it's sooner or later, whether it's injuries or whatever, you're going to have to depend on a lot of those kids, and to be able to get them that opportunity to not only play well, but to have success and do it in front of that crowd, I think was huge.
Steve, what'd you think?
Yeah, what I saw, what I was thinking about was the offensive line. Looking back on Lime Rover this year was involved with some consultants came in to help out, tried to figure out what they could do to better the offensive line. You had a situation where you had a new wide receiver coach come in. Here's a guy that came from Duke. David Cutcliffe at Duke is a quarterback guru, so you know he's got to know something about wide receivers and what they should do. The wide receivers look pretty good. The offensive line looked pretty good. And then the kicking game, you know. We got a new new specialist coach, and I thought they did a good job. We got a kickoff guy that kicked every kickoff into the end zone except for one. So those were areas that you know, I was looking at and thinking, you know, hey, looks like we have some improvement in those areas.
Special teams, I think, was really good.
Yeah, I think to pick up on Steve's point, Jordan Stout, you know, a weapon. Not only, and you predicted it with the touchbacks, but I like the fact that they gave him a 53-yard opportunity early, because it was like, you know, fourth and a little long. I mean, I guess they could have punted down there inside, but I was glad they showed that could be a weapon. I think that built some confidence, I'm sure, in him and in the whole special teams. Yeah,
to build on what Steve said, when you look at the offense grinding out over 600 yards and all of those touchdowns, I really do think, to me, the unsung, or the hero, the player of the game was the collective offensive line. Let's face it, this is an area that has struggled the last couple years. Early in James Franklin's career here, you could have blamed that on the sanctions. I don't think you could do that anymore. They've recruited a lot of four-star guys, high-level recruits, and they have the talent there. I think starting the season this way sets a good foundation for that offensive line, and I think over the next couple of weeks with Buffalo and Pitt and then Maryland, it's going to be imperative for them to not only play at this level, but maybe just keep getting better and better and more cohesive.
And they mentioned that they're going to play 3 guards, and they alternated some young tackles, so it wasn't like they just rolled out 5 guys and stuck with them. So building depth, not only with, obviously, the running back showed their depth, but the offensive line too.
And quarterback Sean Clifford made his debut. Any thoughts on?
Well, you know, he was a little nervous at the beginning of the game, and but I think he really settled in. He looked very comfortable after the first 2 series. I thought he did a really nice job. Now, again, you know, the proof is in the pudding. You know, when he goes away to Iowa and Michigan State and Ohio State, places where it's going to be really tough, we're going to see then what kind of mettle he has if he can do the job in that kind of a situation. But right now, he looked very good, I thought, after the first 2 series.
You know what I liked? I liked that he fessed up after the game. Yeah. KJ Hamler said, you know what, he was nervous out there, and these guys go way back. They're friends, and KJ said, I had to kind of set him straight. And Clifford's like, yeah, I was saying all week that I'm not going to be nervous, and then I'm out there. And he, you know, that's good. That's what these games are about. And for this team, listen, a lot of people would say, why do you schedule this opponent? Or, you know, what good does this do? I think when you have a younger team with guys in key spots and some guys who are going to need to provide depth, I think it's good. Go out there and get those jitters out, and now let's see how he is the next couple games.
All right, I'm going to cut you guys off. We got a lot more to talk about. Coming up next on Nittany Nation Overtime, it's tough to find some of those mistakes in a 70-point blowout, but we'll take a look at that and all the good things, too. Don't worry. Next.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, help is just a phone call away. 1-800-662-HELP is Pennsylvania's substance use disorder hotline. It's staffed by real people who are trained to help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They'll get you or your loved one into treatment regardless of your access to insurance. Recovery starts with a call. Get help now at 1-800-662-HELP.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Our family will not trust anybody except Kemen Plumbing and Heating.
They have helped us with 2 expansions, which helps us grow within our community. Always very dependable and always very responsive.
Whenever we had Kemen Plumbing and Heating show up to do our plumbing needs with our addition, they definitely went over and above for everything that they were there for. So really, really appreciative of everything they've ever done for us.
Service, quality, dependability. Trust in us, your hometown favorites, Kemen Plumbing and Heating.
They're at it again. Chunkin' Pumpkins. Have fun and support Howard Volunteer Fire Company at Bald Eagle Lake on October 12th for the 9th annual Pumpkin Chunkin' Fall Festival. There's food, hay rides, and an army of vendors selling crafts. And of course, flying pumpkins flung from launchers into the lake. Admission and parking are free, but donations are accepted. Proceeds benefit Howard Fire Company. Join us October 12th from 10 to 5 at Bald Eagle State Park.
Seriously injured in a car accident? Burger and Green can help. For over 40 years, we've fought the billion-dollar insurance industry to get our clients the money they deserve. The insurance company is not your friend. They're not on your side. Do not give a statement. Do not sign away your rights.
Trust the name you know. Burger and Green, the injury lawyers. Call or text 1-800-999-2626. There is no fee unless you get money.
Toyota's national clearance event is on. It's time to save on the last of the 2019s. Congratulations. Congrats.
Just announced special Labor Day savings on a Corolla with $1,250 total cash allowance from Toyota. Or lease one for $179 a month, plus get $500 bonus cash.
How long should we do this?
Well, the event doesn't end until September 3rd.
Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching Nittany Nation Overtime.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, Penn State getting a big win over Idaho in week 1. 5 different running backs scoring a touchdown. Mark, I mean, what do you think that says about the running backs? You already hit on the offensive line. How cool is it to see some of those backups really have some success?
Yeah, well, you know, listen, number one, I think we talked about it in the preseason that there was a lot of talk about Miles Sanders leaving, and I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. All credit to Miles for doing what he's doing with the Philadelphia Eagles, but you knew that this running back room was loaded with guys like Journey Brown, who just scored a touchdown there, Devon Ford, and then Noah Cain. Devon Ford breaking off that long 81-yard touchdown. He looked a little Barkley-esque. I'm not going to go that far, though. If you looked at that 8 and maybe thought it was a 6, but I would agree with you. Seeing a guy like Nick Urie get in there, this is a guy who busted on the practice squad every single day. And to see the emotion from his teammates after and you know what, he punched that thing in. That was not just hard. Yeah, he ran through people. So to see all those guys playing well, I thought was good and speaks to their depth at running back.
Yeah, I thought Journey Brown really hit the holes fast. You know, James Franklin talks about the level of competition. They want to be the most competitive practices in the country. Well, you can see that effect that these running backs are in this competition because Ricky Slade is the starter, but he only gained 9 yards on 5 carries. One thing he did, he laid a good block on Hamler's reverse early in the game. So, James noted the blocking that helped Clifford as well from the running backs. So I think it was a really positive day. But Journey Brown in particular stuck out to me, the way he yards after the catch and how quickly he hit the holes.
If I could, I'd like to talk about the defense.
Of course.
And, some of the things that I saw there, you know, I have a hard time remembering my kids' names, grandkids' names, and my 2 dogs' names. But let me say, I saw like 4 guys that I thought were really good. The younger kids, like Mustafa, Owie. We had Smith in Laketta. I thought those guys are players, and the thing that I think he's going to be able to do.
And most of them are backups.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Pry is going to be able to do a lot. He should be able to do a lot of things with these guys because I don't know if you noticed, but he used 3 defensive ends on
Etor at nose.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he went around the center, and that's where he got the sack. There's going to be so many opportunities where you can mix and match with these guys because they're big enough to hold up on playing, say, a defensive end type job, rushing the passer, rushing from the middle. They've got such flexibility now and so many people to move in and out. I thought their defensive tackles, and everybody talks about their ends, but I thought that Sheldon and Windsor did a really good job. I like the way they play. They come off the ball, attack the man in front of them. You know, I don't like the type of tackle who, you know, makes a pile and never, you can't count on them ever to rush the passer.
Yeah.
These 2 guys are really coming off the ball real well. I really liked what they did, and I think this defense, with their quickness and their speed and the flexibility with so many guys. I mean, I think there's 3 or 4 guys in the back that could also help them. Of course, we didn't see them because they never could get the ball off. And they were you know, stopping them at the line of scrimmage that our defensive backs didn't play in too much of the game. But I thought our defense should be a really, really good defense with flexibility, speed. Should be great.
Well, imagine that Idaho offensive line where they're out there grinding the whole game, and then all of a sudden Adissa Isaac comes in, a true freshman who's you know 6'4", 240 pounds, and runs like a 4.5 or 4.45 40-yard dash. You almost felt bad for those guys. And to Jason Owe, who's not even starting, Brandon Smith, who you mentioned, was a 5-star linebacker. You know, they are bringing athletes in waves. To me, this is the most athletic defense they've had since '99. I mean,
absolutely.
Quickly to nitpick.
Yeah.
What would we kind of shore up?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, wet blanket.
No, nothing really stood out to me. Obviously, you fumbled two punts, and that was Tippenhammer, and we'll see. Hopefully, he'll shore that up. You had a punt block deflected. So the special teams, you know, there was a couple demerits there, but you'd have to look real hard in a 72-point loss to find it.
Well, I think they're also going to have to figure out how to kind of combat what they were doing punting, that line drive punt style to KJ Hamler, because people saw that, and I think they're going to keep doing that to him. I don't know what the answer is there, but I think that's one other nit to kind of
They were real high on Bowers going in. He didn't have a catch.
I think you could put all of that aside. Micah Parsons had 1 tackle.
Right.
They were playing
big tackle.
Right, but guys were playing so few snaps that I don't think you could look at stats and really nitpick those, in my view.
All right, we got more coming up next. We hop in our time machines and we catch up with our special guests, Steve Smear. Next.
WinterWorld's installed over 50,000 homes locally and millions nationwide. We're celebrating with these exciting offers.
$289, $489, or $589 installed. $100 off each triple pane window installed. $1,000 off 10 6000 series windows installed. Free patio door with purchase of 10 triple pane foam enhanced windows or 8 4000 series windows, $89 per month with 0 down.
Call or click WinterWorld for your free in-home estimate today.
Commonwealth Charter Academy is the future of public K-12 education. It's a laptop and course materials at no cost to families and help with paying for internet service. It's family support every step of the way. It's a personalized education for every student from the safety of your home. And it's an online public school available at no cost to all Pennsylvania families. This is how school should work. School starts soon. Learn how Commonwealth Charter Academy can work for your child at ccaeducate.me.
My name is Ken Stout, and I live in Moulton, PA. My wife and I lived here for 43 years. Energy Transfer came to me and proposed putting 2 pipelines through my property. I got to see firsthand their workmanship and expertise, but more important, they became like family. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the experience. Energy Transfer is committed to safety, the environment, and jobs for Pennsylvania.
The perfect place to enrich your life after 55 is at Greystone Court or Greystone Court Villas. Greystone offers 1 and 2 bedroom apartments that include all utilities and one affordable monthly payment. You'll enjoy the casual comfort and many amenities at the most respected name in senior living. Greystone also offers compassionate personal care for those needing assistance at Greystone Manor in Belmead. And now under construction, Greystone Grand Palazzo, the ultimate retirement community. Call to customize your new home.
Madam Secretary, we have a problem.
In international affairs,
12 years in the CIA, I was trained to recognize a global hotspot.
there is a time for diplomacy
We'd like our citizens back.
and a time for action.
This is a risk you can't afford not to take.
Go, go, go!
You'd better be right about this. Engage target.
Taya Leone is
Another day, another potential disaster no one will ever hear about.
Madam Secretary.
Sunday at midnight, only on WTAJ. You're watching Nittany Nation Overtime.
Welcome back to the Nittany Nation Overtime. We're still here with the Nitwits. Steve, it's your first time joining us here. First off, I mean, it seems like we're having a pretty good time.
Sure.
I appreciate your input.
I know why I'm here. It's demographics. You guys are looking for that. You guys are looking for that 70-year-old guy who was actually alive when I was playing and doesn't know how to use a computer or a smartphone. Right? That's me. So. That's the demographic.
Hey, what? Trying to boost our Johnstown audience. Steve's a native of Johnstown, Bishop McCourt.
Listen, when you're in Johnstown and Altoona, you got to say, Yuns guys, this has been a great time here tonight.
Listen, we were lucky. There was actually a little bit of a delay, I'll say this, and we got a bunch of stories out of Steve. We could do an hour-and-a-half show, but listen, Steve, one thing I wanted to ask you is this year Penn State has multiple underclassmen captains. You and Mike were junior captains.
Yes.
That was unheard of at the time.
Yes.
What was that like for you guys back then, and how key was that to kind of getting that whole era going?
Well, first of all, to be a co-captain with that group of guys, so many class guys.
Yeah.
We had Denny Arncotts, Neil Smith, so many really, really good guys on that team. You were so proud to be their captain. And to be their captain for 2 years was a great honor for me, and it's probably one of the greatest honors I've ever had, to be chosen by your peers to be the captain. So I can just imagine how Clifford feels as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So it's a great honor, especially again when you respect the people you play with and you like the people you play with. That's important. When I went off to Canada, I was around a lot of guys who were in college who they would say, hey, what's this thing about Penn State? Did you really go to class? Did you have to get a degree? Things like that. I mean, it's sad that so many guys go to school and don't get a degree, So I was very proud of that fact. I've always been proud of that fact and proud of my teammates.
Steve, of course, you were a cornerstone alongside Mike Reed among maybe the greatest defense that Penn State's ever had, certainly one on a short list with the 85, 86 units. Last year, your team was brought in 50 years ago, that era of 67, 68, 69, really the foundation of the Paterno era. What did all that mean to you, especially as you kind of, head to the twilight and still stay in touch with the program?
Well, again, it meant a lot. Most of the guys did come back. We had an affair at the Hotel Abbey, the smallish 15,000 square foot house that Abbey has
Talking about Dawn Abbey.
Dawn Abbey, right. So, but it was really nice seeing the guys there. Most everybody's in pretty good shape, and so it was a lot of fun, brought back a lot of memories talking about stuff. And Danny Radakovich came in, which was really nice because we don't have any of our coaches. They're all deceased. So it was great to have Danny Rad back. And of course, Rad's got a million stories, too. I mean, he's the most eccentric, but probably one of the smartest guys to ever coach football. He's out there, but great coach.
You guys played an Eastern schedule at that time. What are your feelings about how the program has evolved and the Big Ten as well?
Well, I mean, they had to do what they had to do. Joe wanted to get an Eastern group together, but it was football and basketball. And so it just never happened. And so the Big Ten came to, to Penn State, and they decided to go there, and I think it was a wise choice, a good choice. It's worked out very well for us, I think, at Penn State. And it's different, but it's what's happening. What's happening is with the NCAA and the 5 conferences and stuff. It's what you got to do.
You look at Penn State now, and a defensive tackle is typically 6'4", 320 pounds.
Yeah.
Tell people, I mean, you guys were all East, all American type players. You and Mike, what size did you play at back in the day?
I played at 225. Mike played around 245 to 250.
And he was big.
He was big. Mike was big. But then don't forget, we were playing against guards that were maybe 230. Occasionally you would get against the tackle. We had some big tackles. Rich Buzzin was, probably 260. The biggest mismatch that I ever played was in the Orange Bowl my senior year against Missouri. And I played against a guy named LaRon Jackson, who played with the Bears, and he was like 6'4", 280. And normally I played against the guard, or played in the gap. But that game, we ran an odd set defense. So I had to play against him almost the whole game. And it's the only time I've ever gone up to a coach and said, please, I can't do this. I went up to Jim O'Hara in the first quarter and I said, I'm going to get you. This guy's killing me. I can't. And they had big wide splits, but the defense we were playing, they wouldn't run the ball. I think we had like 7 interceptions in that Orange Bowl game. And so it was the right defense. I just was not a factor in that game. I mean, it was, he was always looking at me, and I was dwarfed, beneath him. But again, we relied on quickness. We did a lot of slanting. We did a lot of looping, to get around people without taking them on. Now you had to take people on at times, but many times, you did a slant or you did a loop, and we would get into a set. We always set up in an even set, and then of course Denny would check the set out, the offensive set, and then we would move to something else.
Okay.
So
do we have time real quick?
We're running out of time. I'm
All right.
sorry.
Steve's been an insurance agent in College Park, Maryland, just retired. That's where he spent his career after he was on the Navy staff. But yeah,
Annapolis, Maryland.
Annapolis.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite part of the show so far, big time. Coming up next, it's prediction time. Take a look at Buffalo next.